Muskan will give the introduction, sir. Then we can start the session.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Muskan, take over the session. Muskan.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Shall we start?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
yes,
can start.
yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Muskan, Event Management Intern at InnovaWorld Private Limited. Today, I will be your host. Good evening, esteemed guests, interns, and colleagues. We are thrilled to host this event in collaboration with two innovative companies, InnovaWorld Private Limited and Skyfi Tech Private Limited. InnovaWorld Private Limited is unregistered in MSME and is a pioneering research and development center fused with a dynamic training institute. We champion innovation for future generation by embracing the ethos and the thinking big. Our platform serves as an inclusive hub for STEM enthusiasts of all stipends, offering open access to a wealth of educational resources, from cutting edge research updates to a practical career advice. We cater to students, educators, and the simplified curious alike. InnovaWorld is the cautionary and the destination for all things STEM education and the shaping the innovations of tomorrow. Sci-Fi app pioneers aerospace, aviation, and defense education with immersive AR and simulations. Explore aircraft, drones, satellites, and airships through an interactive modules. Revolutionization and the learning with the engaging experience with the pair for future careers, where learning takes off and play and learn everywhere, every time. And I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to today's special event. It is with great pleasure that we gather here to welcome our esteemed guest, Dr. Abhijit. Abhijit, sir, we are truly honored to have with you us today. Your
Thank you.
willingness and
Thank you so much.
your willingness to share your time and expertise with our community despite your busy schedule is deeply appreciated. Your presence here signifies not only your commitment to education and knowledge sharing but also your dedication to fostering growth and innovation in our field. I extend a warm welcome to all the AICT interns and our lovely viewers who have joined us on this platform to learn about best ways to research articles as a freshman. A heartily welcome to our young founder of InnovaWorld Private Limited, Engineer Aishwarya Dara, Chief Technological Officer, Engineer P.K. Dara, who was a former scientist in the Department of Atomic Energy. Your leadership and the vision is path the way of the innovation and growth within our organization. I give a warm welcome to our Chief Managerial Officer, Engineer Ponma Kishan, whose strategic guidance drives our endeavors towards success. Furthermore, I extend a heartfelt welcome to Dr. Arnava Majumdar, who are esteemed research head, who serve as the backbone of the research division. Your dedication and expertise are instrumental in shaping our innovative pursuits. I am truly honored to welcome our chief guest of the day, Dr. Abhijit, who is the guest editor of the Truther, and he was the assistant professor of the Dream Institution of Technology, as well as he was research scholar in National Institution of the Technology, Agartala. He was also doing many research in silicon and functional composite materials, spring and advances in materials and processing technologies. Taylor, once again, I welcome each and every one of you. Now, I request to Dr. Abhijit to address the gathering and regarding the way to write research articles as a freshman. And let's make today's session one to remember. Over to sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for your warm welcome. And so first I introduce myself. My name is Dr. Abhijit Bhowmick. I am now assistant professor in Dream Technology under Mechanical Engineering Department. So today I discuss on topic of how to write research paper as a freshman. So now I open my PPT. So,
Yeah, sure, sir.
hmm, is it visible? For, is it visible
Yes,
for
sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
visible, sir.
visible? Okay. So today's topic is the best ways to write research articles as a freshman. So these are the contents of our research, our topic. First, the importance of research articles. Why research
Sorry to interrupt. So can you make it a slide like
This
F5?
it's fine.
Yeah, can you
Okay,
make
okay,
it F5?
okay, 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 okay. No, no issues. Okay, so this is our contents. So this contents, first one is the importance of research articles. So this is the first contents, why research articles is so much important nowadays, because nowadays research articles publishing is day by day increasing. So that's why we need our n- research work need to publish.
Sorry, sir.
Yes,
Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt you once again.
yes,
So
yes.
can you make it F5 and again reshare it so it will be visible? Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
okay,
once
okay, okay,
stop
okay,
sharing and
okay, okay. Can I reshare this?
yes, sir.
Okay, yes.
After making F5,
Hmm.
please share the slide.
Is it visible?
Sir, let me check. Sir, I think still old one has been selected.
Okay. Wait.
Like we can see it like edit and all that place now that portal is showing. So you can make a presentation mode and share that file, sir, because it will
Okay.
be visible nicely to our audience.
I think the full screen, entire screen should be shared. Then the
Yes.
presentation mode will be visible.
Okay. Entire screen. I select.
Entire screen, yes, yes.
Now it's visible.
Yes, it is not presentation mode actually. Can you please press F5?
Mm,
So can you press F5?
F5. F5 means after going for the
yes.
presentation.
Yes.
Sir, please go to the presentation, means PPT.
Huh. And
Yes,
now,
now please press F5.
yes, I
Uh,
click. Okay. I again shows. If it's not- okay.
First, sir, please present the entire screen.
Yes. Then share.
Yes, then yes, entire screen means there are the last option. I think yes, enter. Now it is shared. Now please go to the PPT presentation, sir.
Mm, yes.
Yes, now in the tab File, Home, and Insert. Okay, Slideshow. The tab Slideshow. You can see
Hmm,
File, Home, Insert. Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Now
Now
it's
it's
visible.
Now it is visible.
Yeah.
yeah, fully visible now.
Okay. 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 Okay, can I start? So
Yeah.
my
Please
topic is
continue.
best ways to write research articles as a freshman. So this is my contents. So first one is the importance of research articles. This is the why research articles is nowadays very important. This in this topic we can discuss here. Next, the research gap findings. To writing research articles, we need to first find a particular research gap. Suppose if we make one welding, in welding we make some parameters like we change voltage, we change current, we change the stick out materials, we change the what types of material we can join. So this is our research gap. So previously some researchers working in other parameters, if we change the parameters and found the good result, that is called the research gap. Then the types of articles, what types of articles generally available in publishing. Then it is the types of articles. Next, the how to download the research articles. Download the research articles, wh- where we can download our previously published research articles. Next, the data collection. This is the very important part to write any research articles. Data collection. Then the structure of paper. This is the basic structure of any paper we can discuss in this part. Next, the reference writing. This is the very important part because if we write paper, we need to cite previous work in this paper. regarding this work. So how to write reference, how to put in our paper, in these options we can understand. Next, the publishing options. The where we can publish our article, in these portions we can understand. Next, the plagiarism and grammar correction. Plagiarism in nowadays is very important, because if we write any paper and the plagiarism is 50%, then this paper never be acceptable. So in this portion we can understand how we can find the plagiarism of our paper, and how we can reduce it, and also how we can reduce the grammar uh, fault, like topographical mistakes also there. Next, the peer review process. What is the basic peer review process? Peer review process means after submission, what process done one by one. It is the peer review process. Next, a practical example of one of my papers. So now we can start. The first one is importance of research articles. What is the importance of research articles? First one, the contribution to knowledge. In research articles, we, we can contribute our knowledge in as a review or research articles to other domain, and this help the previous and e- research and expand that topic. Suppose earlier, one experiment is done aluminium and silicon. If we earlier one of the guy experiment and make one composite that 5% silicon mixed with aluminium, then the total strength of the composite is increases. So if you think that, if except silicon, instead of silicon, if we if we mix some other particles and enhance strength, this is the very important part. In that case we can contribute the knowledge in scientific community. Then the peer review process. What is the peer review process? After submission your paper controlled by editor and reviewer. Editor initially check your paper quality, and reviewer review the entire paper and suggested some comment to improve your quality of paper, that enhanced for readers understandability. Next, dissemination of findings. Why dissemination of findings is important? Because if your knowledge disseminate to entire research fraternity, then it is very good. Then if anyone doing research in your field, you also know what they find also, then you compare it, and also mm, want to work in this field, then you find some research gap, then your result and their result you compare, and next you did some more work. Next, reference of for future work. Your work as a stored as a reference of future work, because if you work in welding or casting area, if next anyone work as a this area, they need to reference or cite your work for discussing their work. Next, the impact and policy practice. Research findings published in articles in it influenced this policy decision. Different policy decision nowadays depends on research articles, because some articles we can, because we have to publish in two ways. Either we can publish research articles, either we have grant patents. In case of research articles, we need to submit some data analysis, and this data analysis based, they make some policy. Next, the career advancement. Those student work as a researcher or doing PhD in future, the research article writing is very important for their career. So all of them need to understand how to write research article nowadays. Next, the critical evaluation. Research articles encourage the critical thinking. Suppose you want to work s- new version of Android. So first we want to work a new version of Android. First you understand what is the earlier version available in Android. Then you need that this gap is available and you improve this gap, then you generate a new version of Android or Apple, anything. This is called the critical evaluation. Building research communities. Building research community is a very important to collaboration of different collaborative work with different research communities. Suppose you after your masters is completed, if you want to work with any premier institutions, then you need to publish one good publications. That's why they hire you as a PhD scholar or researchers. Next point is research gap finding. How to find research gap? So finding research gap is very very important to write any articles. So research gap finding, first point is the you understand the introduction. Suppose if you want to work in a machining, welding or anything you want to study, you first the understand the basic introduction of this work. Next, understand the existing literature. What kind of work already existed in this area? First, you need to understand and study seriously to find research gap. Then, define your research questions. So, existing literature, you better you make one table and put one by one literature. This year, they he worked this in this field, he worked in this material, then what is their result and what is the remarks. You make one table and ultimately you find one research questions, this area you want to study. Next, the objectives of your study, it is the very important part. Objectives of any work is very important, because if you want to welding area, if you want to casting area, if you want make one, suppose a composite, so what you make one composite, because if you make a light composite, that may be used in aerospace or automotive industries. So objective is very important. What is the objective of his work? Objective, nobility, it is a very important part. Next, analyze existing studies. Next part, the how to analyze the existing work in these studies available. Next, consider practical relevance. What you want to date, this the practical relevance is important, because if you want and a good research article, you want to write a good research article, you need a valid practical application for this work. Otherwise your work value is very less. Next, consult with peers and experts. After this study, you want to discuss with your supervisor or your seniors and consult with them for this work, and then conduct a pilot study. Then, types of articles. Generally, two types of research articles are available. One is research article, another one is review article. So, what is the basic difference between two? Research articles, you want to analyze you want to data collections, you want to you need some experiment conducted. Next, you need to proper software analysis, like think if you want to software area, then you want to write software analysis. Different types of software tool you must be used, is the research article. And review article is if you want to work previous existing literature and write a paper in this field, this is called review article. Review article, you in to write review article, you don't want to work in any laboratory. You first, you understand previous 50 to 100 literatures, and you find their existing find the nobility of their what is the review articles. In review articles, you want, suppose you write a review articles, some composite materials in dental applications. So composite materials in dental applications, so previous you find that 50 articles in that area. Some of use this material, someone use this material. So you analyze previous work and finally write a conclusion. This is the review article. Next, download the research articles. How to download the research articles? Research articles download different and publishers are available. Publishers like Science Direct, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, ASME, SES, MDPI, Oxford Press, Sage. This is the uh, major publisher where you can download your particular paper. Other social media or like types is there is common thing is a search engine like research, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and Academia. You also find papers in this website also. Next, data collection. Data collection is very important to write research articles in your domain, because for data collections first you design one design of experimentations is there. Suppose you have to create select in, suppose you work on 3D printing machine. So what is the basic on 3D printing machine? In 3D printing machine, you uh, put some coil. This is the plastic material. Put some coil. You set some temperature. What matter temperature it will be melt, and the speed you can control. So in this, change this setting, you want to find a proper optimized parameter that you can build perfect 3D printed objects. So this is the data collection. Data collection for, you need first you aim the research, what kind of research you want to study, then type of data want to select, that is the parameter or factors. Name the methods or procedures you will use to collect, store, and process the data. You methods and procedures you collect and store and process. Sometimes you, many students done optimization. What is optimization? Optimization, suppose you did 50 experiment. In 50 experiments, which experiment did best result? That is done by optimization. Okay. Next, structure of paper. So this is the typical research article structure. In this research article, you see in top one is abstract. Then question is, what is abstract? Abstract is nothing but a gist of your article. In abstract, you write your entire work in within 200 words. You want to explain. Next, the introductions. Introductions is the you want to suppose you, if you want to 3D printing, first you write the what is 3D printing, what uses, what is applications in 3D printing, what is the this kind of introduction you want to write with previous citations. Next, the literature survey, what kind of work is done previously. Next, methodology, how to data collect and techniques. Next, result analysis is very important. After data collection, you got some result. Now your work is to analyze this result by your way. Suppose if you want in microstructure, you uh, select some microstructure and explain this kind of fault or this kind of enhancement in molecular is there. So you want to in results a discussion part. The conclusion is if your work is completed, then you write a proper conclusion of your work. That means after work, what is your findings. Conclusion means what is your findings in this work. Next, acknowledgement portion, you have to acknowledge suppose you, if you helped IIT Delhi laboratory, then in this acknowledgement part you have to mention, then this IIT Delhi suppose tribology laboratory helped me. So author acknowledgement is like this. Next, the reference is what paper you have to cite. This paper reference are mentioned in the at the end of the your manuscript. So research paper structure. So section was abstract. What is abstract? Abstract here we can write that 150 words of purpose of study, research questions or suggested and main findings of conclusions. Within 150 to 200 words, abstract is done. So in this work, you have to write the main findings, and what is the relevance of this work, and also what is the conclusion of this work. Next, outline of the map of the study, and outline you have done. Next, the introduction, the main in work. What is the main work? This is the, if you work in welding area, then suppose you work in submerged arc welding. In submerged arc welding, you have to write that submerged arc welding is this submerged arc welding, submerged arc welding applications is there. So this is the introduction part. Literature survey, what kind of work existing in this work. This is the literature survey. Or you can explain previous some literatures in your article. Next, methodology and material selection. What kind of material selection is there? If you want in any software, then you also explain the software, desirable software something is there. Next, results. Present and illustrate the obtained findings. Why result is important? Result, suppose in your work, result is very important. Suppose if in you did 5 composites, and tensile strength of 5 composites is different. So what you want to what you want to do in this case, you have to create some graph in Excel and make presentation what happening after increment of current, after increment of voltage or any other thing like this. Next, the discussion part. Discussion is very important after result. Next, the recommendation. If you write any recommendation of your work, suppose then it's also write limitations. If you what is your work limitations you mentioned. Then conclusion, what kind of conclusion and findings you will get in your work, that is the right. Then appendix, if you wanted any want to show any additional information, you show in appendix sections. Then reference. Next, reference writing, how to write references. So if you write reference, suppose this is one of my paper title, comparative study of microstructure, physical and mechanical characterization of SiC TiB to reinforced aluminum matrix composite. So first you open the Google Scholar page. So here is show this is the Google Scholar page. So in this Google Scholar page, in this search button, you type this title and search. So in after searching, you give some page like this. Then you press the cite button in here, the cite button. After cite button you click, then open this window. So here different types of reference writing styles is there: MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard and Vancouver. So you take any of them and put in your reference sections. Then publishing options. After paper preparations, publishing is very important, where we will publish our paper. So in that case, you have to a journal suggester. Suppose if you want to publish in Springer, then you write the Springer Nature Journal Suggester. There's the manuscript title, abstract, anything, an area. Then search. Journal will suggest some publisher will suggest some journals which is related to your work. Here's the 10 factors for choosing right journals. Aim and scope of the journals. First you write you open any journal, you find the aim and scope of the journal. If their aim and scope is very matched with your work, then you uh, write to submit your manuscript in this journal. Next, journal impact factor. Impact factor is indicated the what is the journal status. If impact factor is very high, that means journal quality is very very good. Next, indexing of journals. Journals indexing also very important. Journal index, suppose some journals is SCI, Science Citation Index, or Science Citation Index expanded, both are same. Science Citation Index, that is the SCI journal. SCI journal is very good quality journal, we can take. Next, the ESCI, Emerging Source Citation Index, and Scopus Indexed. Scopus and Emerging Source Citation Index is also very important. Also, the Google Scholar option, many other indexing is there. So, mainly this four indexing I can tell you is very important. Next, peer reviewed journal. If your journal is peer reviewed, then it is very good. Then publishing time. Publishing time, you see that if publishing time is very lengthy, then your paper w- waiting time is very too much. So for, try to upload that journal, that publishing time is less. Acceptance rate is also important. What is the acceptance rate? If your acceptance rate is 10%, then chances of your paper to publish is very less. And then reach of journal, how to reach the journal. You make one, sign up. Firstly sign up your account and then submit. Then check of the journals, any publication similar to the research articles. Some papers you can download in this journal and find it is related to your work or not. Then check the journal restrictions and predatory publishers. Next, plagiarism and grammar correction. Plagiarism is very, very important things to write research articles. If you want to write in ChatGPT, then the software will catch where we can collect this data. So generally we used plagiarism checking the Turnitin software. In this software, you can buy this software also. So in Turnitin software, first you upload your manuscript and then you find the plagiarism report. This plagiarism report is right like this, and this is the original report. Suppose here the 14% similarity index in this paper, 8% internet resources, 13% publications, and 1% student paper. So this first one is very important. This is similarity index 14%. Generally, below 15% journal is considerable. Above 15%, most of the journals will be returned back. And you also use the Grammarly software for uh, improved your grammar quality and sentence corrections. Next, the peer review process. Is the peer review process is very important. First, the manuscript submissions by author. First, you submit your paper in particular journal. Next, what happened? This manuscript undergoes initial checking. So initial checking is this one, desk checking is there. So after initial checking, some journals will be rejected. If it is not relevant to their aim and scope, then it is rejected. Or either if it is a plagiarism percentage is very high, then it is also rejected. The two major conditions of rejections. Next, manuscript undergoes the peer review. If editor may select this paper for under review, then editor assigned some reviewers to under review for your paper. Next, journal handling editor gives final comment. After reviewer comments came, then editor gives their final decision. If it is accept or needs some more revisions is there, then next notify their decisions to author. Okay, this is a practical example of one of my paper which is published in Silicons. So here we see this is the title portions, this is the author list. So this is the abstract. You can see this is the very small abstract, maximum 160 170. So first of all, you write paper, you need to abstract is very important. Abstract part, if your abstract is not good, then generally this paper initially rejected. So write abstract is very innovative. Next, keywords. What kind of keywords matches in your work? Next, introduction part. This is the basic introduction reports is the composite materialist. That is why I write some sentences as a composite material. Next, you see this I some numbering 1 to 5, 6 to 9. That is the citing articles of previous literature. So this is the introduction part. Next, I also did my literature survey like this Jiang and Wang. This is the author we can write. Suppose in literature survey you can write, if in case of two authors you can write like this. Suppose myself Abhijit Bhowmick and another one is Hemapal. So I write Bhowmick et Pal investigate like this work. In case of more than two authors, you can write simply Bhowmick ETAL. In case of more than two authors, then you can write Bhowmick ETAL is there. ETAL means Bhowmick and plus more authors. And then in third bracket, you write numbering one by one, one, two, three, like this. And then next in this numbering, you write reference at the end of the manuscript. Next, material selection. So here I write the what kind of material I selected in this study. Next, experimentation. What kind of experimentation I did? Suppose is in this work I work is a schematic diagram of my work. So here I show this how I done my stair casting process. What kind of this in schematic diagram is very important. In if to attract your editor or reviewers, you make some schematic diagram because it's very eye-catching things of different reviewers. Next, the XRD pattern I have done the resultant discussion. Result discussion. Here's I can and discuss first XRD. XRD means what kind of particles available in my composite. That's the physical properties I can check like this. This next, right after resultant discussion, I write the conclusion part. Conclusion part, I write like this: following observations. That means what kind of observations or what kind of findings I found in this work. That is the conclusion. So this is the conclusion part. I write point to us. This is the acknowledgement. Suppose here I write that authors wish to thank Central Research Facility at National Institute of Technology, Agartala for excellent measurement. That means you have to acknowledge those laboratory which where you did your work. That is the acknowledgement. And then at last the reference sections. Right. Which articles you have to cite your work. Then you write reference of this work. Thank you. If you any question and answer.
Okay, so we have some questions over here.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, there is one question: which article is easier
Hmm.
for freshers?
Which articles? So I suggest something trick that if you don't did any practical work, you have to write one review articles, because review articles uh, don't need any previous analysis, or you don't make want to any design of experiment like this. You don't discuss their results and discussions. So I suggest, if there is a first, then have to write some research review articles. It also enhanced their skills in this field also. And even also if they try them some conference paper, it's also fine, because in
Yes,
conference,
that's a
yeah,
nice idea, I guess. No?
yeah,
Publishing in conference, at least they
at
get
least.
some confidence.
Yes, yes, yes. In previously start with conference, then try some good journals.
So one more question we have. We don't get the context, but he or she has drop a message that why my paper is not getting published. So we ask him the relevant, like any particular area or which journal. They have not mentioned, but I think this is a very common problem that my paper is not getting published. So many people lose their
Hmm,
patience
hmm,
level.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Like when they go for the publication part.
So basically, in that case, if your paper not published, so you find if any special issues is available, because if your area having some special issue journal, sometimes organize some special issues. In case of a special issue is available, you have to try that issues. Then chances are good for publishing. And also write, I suggest some improved your quality of your work, because if your quality of work not that standard, sometimes a editor will generally rejected this paper.
Sir, actually, that nowadays there's a huge challenge to get published in Scopus or
Hmm.
essay or Web of Science.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and nowadays, especially in India, we have a trend in publishing in UGCK.
Hmm.
So, what is your take in that, sir?
So I suggest for Scopus indexed, you maintain some. If you apply some optimization, if you work in data collections, if you work some optimization is used, then your chances of work is very high. Because I saw many of people work in optimizations in their work, in their data analysis, what they find, and use some optimizations, and make their chances of publications much higher compared to
Mhm.
earlier. And also, I suggest, if you work, suppose in a welding area you work, then if you don't know how to use simulations in that work, then I suggest collaborate with someone that know that simulation part or software or a optimization part, and then submit that work. Then chances, quality of work also enhanced, then chances also getting high.
Okay, sir. So we have another question.
Hmm.
What the difference between special issue and regular issue? Is special issue journal are valuable?
Yes,
This is the question we have.
yes. Special issues journals are same valuable, because it's never mentioned in your published article that is special issue or regular issues. Special issue
Okay.
journals are also valuable. Same.
Okay. So I think those kind of journals can easily get published.
Yes. Special issue articles, if available, then first try that special issue articles. Then it is fine. Also, I suggest some book chapters if
Mm-hmm.
writing, because nowadays book chapters writing also is very important. So I suggest all of one that write some book chapters. If you new for this role, write some book chapters, some introductions, and discussion with previous work. Then also it's a benefit for their future.
Okay, so another student have asked a question.
Hmm.
Do we have to innovate or how to write research gap?
Research gap finding is, suppose, first you make one table format, that in table format you write, suppose I am work in a material sense. So as I work in aluminum mixed with silicon, then make composite. And so first, previously I make one table and select which kind of aluminum already worked previously. Suppose in aluminum 6061 works with TiB2, percentage is 3%, and what is their findings. So write one by one this, and find the what is your research gap. Make one table format and write. Just only reading is not important. If you read this paper and then another again read one paper, you forgot what you have to write, or you have to type in my Microsoft Word document what kind of findings you get in this study. So you, if you studied 20 articles, then you have to find proper research gap.
Okay. So I think, sir, what is your take in that if any student or any researcher going to publish for a review article? So
Mhm.
what will be the standard that research article that they have to refer?
Standard research articles, actually, suppose articles, you have first writing research articles, you have to first collect your data and analyze your result. But in review articles, you have first you have to download at
Mm,
least 60 to 70 previous existing literatures, and then compare with them. Suppose in my field I want to explain, suppose in composite I have to aluminum matrix composite. So in aluminum matrix composite I have to find in review articles that in SIC they work different aluminum, and what kind of effect, and what kind of eh, efficiency in case of IC engine, what kind of efficiency increases, why if they want some biodiesel. So for research review articles, you have to make one proper plan first, one by one, and make a final conclusions that this if you done these things, then you will get this result. If you done this thing, then you will get this result. This is the just a directions for review
Hmm.
article.
Okay, sir. Dr. Arunava, sir, you have any question?
Yes. Basically, the question is recently um, a research article publishing it become very hard.
Hmm.
Okay. So the question is means if you're a student,
Hmm.
totally new because I face some problems with the BSc project students basically.
Okay.
Okay, so who are basically don't know anything about the research,
Hmm.
and the MSc students also, MSc or MTech students, if they come to the not the PhD scholars.
Okay.
So the students who don't know about the research and who has already are involved in the other academic activities,
Hmm.
like their exams are there and other theirs. So in our university, they also have to publish some research papers.
Okay. Okay.
So it is very challenging for them to publish the papers. Okay,
Hmm.
but it's mandatory for them.
Okay. Right.
So basically, in that case, means a discussion should be needed. Means we need to which kind of research work should be the most preferable for them, so that the paper also will be getting published in a good journal, and journal should also be the either Scopus or SCI.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, UGC journal is not accepted
Right.
in
Right.
our university.
Hmm.
So in that case, what should be preferred for them?
So I in that case I suggest that uh, in research article writing needs some time because it's a not a,
Exactly.
and it is not a
Not a
1 day or 1 week work. So at least a good research article need at least 2 months to 3 months if you have all
Yeah,
data
maybe
is there.
3 months exactly.
Yes, almost 2 months required if you have all data. If you're not available data, then it need more timing,
More time. Yeah.
more times. So I suggest at least those who work in this field, at least read at least 5 articles daily. If you uh, read, if you read 5 articles daily and find the research object, research gap, then at least at the end of month you find the 150 literature work. So in that case you have to find the research gap and also work. And also I suggest try some collaboratively work with other universities or other colleges, because if you don't have any equipment, but this equipment is required for your work, so in that case you help some other institutions and done your uh, work. Suppose you don't have SEM, scanning electron microscope, but nowadays if any materials related or any welding related, any kind of related work, SEM is the very important tool, machine. So in that case you want to collaborate some other universities, those having that machines, then you collect some data and uses this data in your manuscript.
Yes, yes, yes. That can done. And basically, the students means the graduate level student, actually, they don't have that much time also. And
Right.
to read the 150 papers, it is very
Hmm.
difficult for them to means means insist them that is
Right,
read the
right.
papers. It is very important. Means main difficulties is
So I
they are
suggested,
not open to read actually because they have the other means task also,
hmm,
other academic task. They have exam tomorrow is the exam, tomorrow is the CA and all the other
hmm,
things.
hmm,
So they don't have that much. Yes, if you we give some experimental work or to make a
hmm,
model something, or to
hmm,
make a Python programming, or to make a game or app designing,
hmm,
they
hmm,
can do this. But in case of research paper, means the technical writing,
Hmm.
Okay, that is very difficult to handle.
Yeah.
Right.
So in
And
that
in this,
case,
I would like to ask one more question. We have one more
Yes.
question here. Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yes.
Uh, when we send an article
Hmm.
to a Scopus Index journal
Hmm.
and they take long time to confirm it. In
Okay.
the meantime, we can't send to any other journal. But
No.
if it gets rejected at
Hmm.
all the time,
Hmm.
what to do? So it's a very common problem for the researcher. So these are
Right.
yeah.
So generally, I suggest in that case you s- uh, s- saw the time of duration of acceptance of any journal that
Hmm.
is mentioned in journal website. What is the approximate time for publishing journals? What is the percentage of acceptance? So if you submit your paper, if status shows with editor more than 1 month, in that case I suggest mail to editor that, sir, I my paper is with editor more than 1 month or 2 month. Then you need some decisions, or you go it send to review in that case. Otherwise sometimes editor fall your paper at desk, and it will go so more than 3 months 4 months, it will loss of your time.
I hope that make this answer makes you comfortable. Yeah. I think Arunavas are having some more questions.
hello,
Uh,
it's not audible actually. Hello,
Okay. Sir,
Hello, audible, sir.
uh, hello.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Did you means ask something or?
You have any other further questions, sir?
Yes, question basically data collection. Okay,
Okay.
another one.
Hmm.
Uh, in case of, I am not from the field of means mechanics or this kind of
Okay. Okay.
experimental work.
Hmm.
Okay, I generally my field is means supply chain management
Right.
and the computer science
Hmm.
related work, algorithm making, and
Hmm. Hmm.
in case of, but I also worked on some data with means a glass industry.
Hmm.
That is means that is a, and my task is only analyzing the data.
Okay.
Okay. So if I want to collect some data
Hmm.
from any aerospace or mechanical engineering data for or civil, okay, for any statistical analysis, how
Hmm.
can I collect that data from? Means, is there any website or should I collaborate with some other institute or any means
Uh,
things?
in some papers they mentioned the data, what is their what is their collections of data in some papers, but maximum papers not mention the all of data set. So in that case, if you want to work in their field, you mail that author that
Okay.
I want to work in this area. Please you provide your data, and we collaboratively work in this work and extend this work in future.
Okay, okay. Understand.
Mm.
Yeah, that the problem actually I face because research paper is very limited data. And
Right,
only some graphs are given, but data
right,
sets are not given. So that is why it is difficult
right.
to means.
90% research papers not give proper data. 90% they only
Yeah,
show graphs.
exactly, exactly.
Mm.
So it is means from graph it is extraction of data is very difficult.
No, 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 it's very
Yeah.
difficult.
Mm.
So
Okay,
we
thank you
have
very much,
one more
sir. That's
question.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So we have one. We will take the last question. And recently, some of the journals are accepting AI content. What percentage of content is accepted?
Mm, AI percentage is if you normally titanium software is used for AI percentage. If AI percentage, I think more than 2%, it is very high. So AI percentage is, I think AI, you have to remove the AI percentage, because AI percent, if they take 2% or 3% AI percentage, they reject your paper in that case,
Okay, sir.
because
I think
2% 2% AI percentage is also very high. You
it's
can you can write one sentence, one paragraph is there.
exactly.
Hmm.
So I hope that this answer has satisfied him. You have nicely and wonderfully described, sir.
Hmm.
We are very much happy to have you with us, sir. Like the
Hmm.
wonderful insights that you have given us today, and the way you have clarified all the doubts, like starting from the basic introduction part, that how step wise they should, follow up and write the scenario, and how they should execute the writing part,
Hmm.
and the doubts they had, like AI content. This is a most common problem if
Hmm.
we see. And nowadays, especially in current scenario, students are very lazy, to be
Hmm.
very honest. They just go to ChatGPT and just
Yes,
search.
yes.
And another, either they search ChatGPT, then convert that to, Quidball,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
paraphrase. The meaning doesn't make any sense,
Yes,
and they
yes.
have to push towards the publication. So of course, that is another way that the papers get rejected. I think that's a very common problem. And nowadays, as you have mentioned, that there should be innovation, that you
Hmm.
have said,
Hmm. Hmm.
and without innovation we can't publish any
We can
paper.
publish our
We
papers.
can't publish any paper, right, sir?
Hmm.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for
Thank
giving
you
a
very much.
wonderful insight, and I hope this session was really, really, really helpful for all our budding researchers and also the experts.
Hmm.
And I request Muskan to take over the session.
Okay, thank you.
Muskan. So, just a second.
Yes.
Muskan? Yeah, please conclude.
Sorry, ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Please conclude the session so we can wind up the session.
Yes, ma'am.
I think some issue from her side. Dr. Arunava, sir, please provide a vote of thanks, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you very much, sir. And I expect that once this session,
Hmm.
it becomes a very helpful and a very informative session for all of the students, all of the interns
Hmm.
who are involved in our in this company, and who is working the R&D work. So sir's opinion about the research paper writing and the publishing. So it will be really very helpful to all of us. And I would like to thank to Sir Dr. Abhijit Bhowmick, okay, for your very means valuable information and presentation.
Hmm.
And also I expect that in the future also, in any session or any other informative session we need you. So I
Definitely,
hope
sir.
that you will obviously be present there. So thank you
Sir,
very much, sir, for your
Thank
presence.
thank you so much, sir, once again,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much for.
in future, we would like to collaborate some research work with you, if it is okay with you.
Sure, sure,
So, we would
sure.
love to
Definitely.
collaborate.
Yes, yes, that is for actually basically for data collection. Okay, I also need some help for this.
Sure, sure,
So,
sure, sir. Sure,
so many collaboration. So,
sure, sir. We can collaboratively work.
yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Good night.
Okay, good night.
Okay.